Hey guys, and today Shorty and I are going to do our tips for round 18 of the season. And every game is a cutthroat game from here on in, matey, for the top 8 with a lot of shapings to eventuate. We'll venture on to the first game for the Friday night, which is Collingwood and North Melbourne at Etihad Stadium. It's Collingwood's home game. And the Pies have hit a little bit of form, doing very nicely last week, and North have lost 6 of their last 7. We keep talking about how badly they're going. This is a must-win for, well, if Collingwood are still mathematically there, they need to win this.
Absolutely, mate. I think North, they'd be unbelievably concerned about their form. I mean, they've gone from ladder leaders to just now they're a chance to miss the 8. It's unbelievable, their fall from grace, really. But I think I'm going to tip North Melbourne, not with a great deal of confidence. I'll tip them by 16 points, but yeah, probably if this was at the G, I'd nearly be thinking about the Pies. You know, they have a bit of a history of getting up for these, sort of games and on a Friday night, and they have been in reasonable form,
Yep.
at least of the last couple. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, I guess it's an upset, North are a fair way off their best, but yeah, they must win. It's as simple as that, but doesn't always mean you do. What do you reckon, mate?
That's right. I'm going to go with the Pies on this one. I reckon they'll win by 8 points. They pipped them last year when I think North were expected to win. I think they were up by 6 goals at one point. We were at the Sporting Globe, I think, when that was happening. When the Cats were getting done nicely by the Eagles. I remember this stuff, but yeah, no, that game was a bit better than that one. Look, I think Collingwood's form lately has been pretty reasonable. Like their consistency of late has been better than North Melbourne's form, and I think they generally do pretty well against North. But again, it's a 50-50 game. You can flip a coin and still get it wrong. So I'm just going to go with the Pies. Who knows who the favourite really is?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a close one. Should be good.
Definitely, mate. Can't wait to watch that one. We got Sydney and Carlton at the SCG on the Saturday afternoon. The Swans, again, Dean Towers, mate, just seems to do the wrong thing at the wrong time. And you know what? Even before they mentioned him in regards to Hawthorn's wins and how badly Sydney have been in their losses, I was thinking Dean Towers did the wrong thing at the wrong time against the Hawks as well. So, unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Blues, they were impressive late against the Eagles in what was a pretty lacklustre game, I heard from the radio.
Towers he's had some tough moments. I certainly agree with the Hawthorn one. He should have passed, but he probably made the wrong call. But nothing's to say that he goes long and they don't rebound. You never know, but he hasn't had a couple of great moments. But I think this one's pretty straightforward. You think Sydney will get the job done, no dramas here. They'll be fired up and ready to make amends, no doubt. And at home they're bloody hard side to beat. And the Blues, they're okay, but I couldn't see them going over and beating the Swans, mate. So I'll tip Sydney by 37 points.
Put your house on the Swans here, guys. I'm going to go Sydney by 43 points. The SCG, as you said, they're very hard to beat unless you're Hawthorn. Carlton, they battle pretty well, but when you're up against the Swans outfit that doesn't lose 2 in a row too often and a very proud group, you can have your work cut out.
Absolutely.
Moving on to the next game, we've got Gold Coast and Fremantle at Metricon Stadium, and Gold Coast injuries galore. Ablett, Riscatelli can't take a beating, or can't take a trick, I should say. They certainly can take a beating. Fremantle, don't know how they didn't beat us, and they look shocking.
Yeah, and pressure out for the year as well, I read today, so no good for the Suns, and shouldn't this be an absolute corker? It's an absolute boring game, I tell you, but I'm going to go Gold Coast without a great deal of confidence or care factor, really. I just think Freo, if this was at home, I'd tip them, but travelling, young side, struggle to keep a winning score. Gold Coast, despite all the outs, still have a reasonable amount of flair and ability in attack, so I'll tip the Suns by 10 points, but both sides will finish this year pretty disappointed with what they produced, so no good.
100%, mate. I'm going to tip the Gold Coast Suns by 25 points. Yeah, mainly because it's at Metricon Stadium. If it was at Patterson's, you'd or shall I say Domain, you'd maybe have a second thought about it. But yeah, look, Fremantle have given me no real indication that they're capable of putting a good performance against a reasonable team. They've beaten some of the bottom sides well, but away from home was huge, and with the form they're in, with the injuries they've got, very hard to see them winning. And not to mention, Gold Coast up forward looked pretty good with Peter Wright and Tommy Lynch. They've been some pretty good targets for him as well.
Yeah, they have, definitely.
West Coast host Melbourne at said Domain Stadium. West Coast, they got over the Blues just by 7 points, and it was a very close game in the end. Melbourne disappointing against St Kilda at Etihad. They can't win there. Lost 24 of the last 25 there, it seems. West Coast love getting on a bit of a flat track bully circus parade, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, absolutely disappointing with these, that's for sure. Pretty straightforward one, really. Just going to go West Coast for sure. And look, I'm going to tip them by 44 points, mate. I think they'll get home pretty comfortably. I think they just tend to have that ability to really steamroll sides at home, and the D's still youngish, and you doubt that they travel too well at this stage of the year when there's not a stack on the line. So I think the Eagles' percentage important, a win must for their top four hopes, and they have a happy knack of dominating at home. So the Eagles confidently.
They definitely do, mate. I'm going to go the Eagles by 35 points. I think Melbourne will put in a competitive effort for various portions of quarters, and they won't allow them to get a huge score, but you never quite know, really. That's just my rough prediction. Look, I think the Eagles will just be able to work them over, and at home they generally do very nicely, so I think they'll get the job done there. Crazy that they've got a really, what seems to be a pretty favourable draw. They could finish top four potentially, but they certainly have not showed that they've deserved to be even top four side, you have to say, going on current form.
Yeah, I can't see them making top four, to be honest. I think they've got a pretty nice month, but I can't see them winning any of the last three games. I'd have to look at some other side draws too, but yeah, they have to be flawless over the next month, I think it is, and they just have to pinch one of, I think, Hawthorn, Adelaide and the Giants, and I'm pretty sure Adelaide is away as is the Giants, I think, so I'm pretty sure they travel twice, so they'd have to get one of those to make top four, I would think. Yeah,
maybe might be able to pick the Hawks at Domain, not impossible. As previously seen, we'll move on to the next one. Western Bulldogs and St Kilda at Etihad Stadium. The two Etihad specialists, mate. This will be an interesting game. We've got the Dogs. Did what they had to do against the Suns, getting a nice win. Jakey Stringer's out for 1 week, apparently. Quite crazy. And the Saints, who did they play against? They got the D's, that's right.
Melbourne,
in some pretty reasonable form, you have to say.
Yeah, this game's going to be quick, no doubt about that. I mean, you think both sides take it on and move the ball at a frantic pace and under the roof there. You've got to go with the Dogs. They're more, I guess, consistent outfit and far more reliable. I'll go the Doggies by 29 points, but as we well know, the Saints are capable of putting together a quarter, a half, 3 quarters, even a full game of really good footy. So the Dogs will want to start well.
Definitely, mate. I'm going to tip the Doggies as well by 14 points. I think it'll be reasonably close. The Saints love it there at Etihad. I think they got them by around the 40 to 50 point mark last time, the Dogs. So I think, good bit of recent form against them. And Jakey Stringer out hurts them a little bit, but I think they'll be able to structure up and hopefully get a win on the board. You know what you're going to get with the Dogs, so I'll go with them.
Nice.
And moving on to Saturday night, mate. Get excited for this one. Geelong and Adelaide at Simmons Stadium. Geelong almost fell over the line against the Dockers with a nice 17-point win. And Adelaide, 8 in a row, won another game and bet the Pies. Scott Thompson's 300th game, and they're in fantastic form, the form team of the competition.
Yeah, mate. We're going to knock them off, I reckon.
Good job,
I'm tipping the Crows, mate. I'm tipping the Crows, but you just never know what the Cats made. We've been in terrible form, so it takes something drastic for us to turn it around and come out with the points. But I think I was saying to mate during the week, you can never say this game is no hope when the Cats are playing at home. We're just always a chance at home. It's a tough place to come to. We play it so well.
Yep.
Our form is super concerning. So, and the flip side of that is the Crows are irresistible at the moment, playing great footy, and have some small forwards which worry us in the like a Cameron and Betts who are in great form. So, looking at it logically, the Crows, I'll tip them by 20 points. But maybe it's optimism, maybe it's some sort of sense, but Geelong and Kidney Park can never be discounted or excluded from potentially winning, so you just never know.
Yeah, solid, mate. I'm going to go with the Crows by, I'll say, 5 goals, 30 points, roughly around there. But teams never seem to play as well as they normally do at Simmons. There's been times in the past where teams have been going well, and then we go down the highway, and it's like, well, this is a whole different world, and then you generally knock them off when maybe you're not expected to. But I don't think the Crows have beaten us there since 2003. We're having a chat about it earlier in the week, just talking about Rashudo's late goal that may have got him over the line. But yeah, very tough venue, I'll agree. But against Sydney, and I'll put Adelaide in the same category as Sydney, a really seasoned top 4 side. Took us to the cleaners, so if I put Adelaide in that same category and keep our form the same, I don't think we win. So you never know, though. We could turn it around, and I hope we do. It's a game of hope, this one, mate.
It really is. We'll fairly go, though. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, more thoughts in the review, but probably summed it up there. Now, Essendon and Brisbane at Etihad Stadium. Guys, get along to the best game in the country. Two of the most, two of the most interesting sides in the comp. Get on board with this one.
Yeah, look, it's a shock of it. In one way, it's kind of interesting, and two terrible sides for different reasons, and one of them's going to win. So it'll be interesting. But I'm going to go the Bombers here, partly because it's in Melbourne, and the Lions just have no heart, no character, seemingly no spirit when they go there to play. I've seen a few highlights and bits of games. They just really rely on so few players, and once it falls away, the wheels fall off and it's all done. So I think the Bombers will, they've looked a little more drilled at times and seem to play for the jumper a little bit more, probably because of what they've been through. But I'll go the Dons by 17 points because I think it will be close, but I think they'll just edge home.
Nice, mate. I'm going to go the Bombers by 5 points. I think should be a close one, being the two worst teams. Can't be a blowout, you wouldn't have thought. Brisbane, they don't mind Etihad at their best of times. Unfortunately, this is not the best of times. They just don't seem to quite put out a really good performance from week to week. They seem to have moments where they're competitive, but then it almost falls away when it gets too difficult or when they lose hope, I suppose, in a game. And I think, as you said, mate, the Bombers play with a lot of heart and spirit, and with what the club's been through, and you'd think that may get them across the line. Maybe pretty dangerous up forward as well, and Brisbane don't have much up forward and down back, as we've said in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on, Hawthorn and Richmond at the MCG. So the Hawks got over the line again. That's their 5th game. Won this year by under 10 points. And Richmond, they did what they had to do against Essendon. They did it the hard way. Got there in the end.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? You got to go the Hawks, no doubt. But the Tigers, as I'm sure you'll touch on it, have shown the ability to play well against the Hawks in the past. I think it looks likely Deledio will probably miss, so that's a big loss for them. I'll tip the Hawks by 32 points. But it could well be close. It's just funny. You don't know what Richmond side's going to turn up sometimes. They can't make the 8, so naturally you think they got enough to play for, but does that mean they play with freedom and they play without fear? It's funny how footy can work sometimes. So I'm not sure, but one thing you can bank on is Hawthorn and how they'll play. So the Hawks for me.
I'm going to have to go the Hawks, unfortunately, as well, mate. I'm going to go the Hawks by 28 points. And, yeah, you're spot on. I always touch on Richmond and how well they play against Hawthorn traditionally. I think they've won 3 of the past 4 before the start of this year, and they lost. They were good for 3 quarters. We were watching the Friday night game, and they just fell away in the last quarter, just sort of almost got a bit tired. Yeah, look, I expect it to be a really good contest. Richmond's, for some reason, seemed to play well against them over all these years, even their dominant years. They've been really good against them. But, yeah, with where Richmond are at, with where Hawthorn are at, you'd have to go the Hawks, unfortunately. I'd like to go the Tigers, but I can't.
That's very cool.
Oh, I know you're going to tip with this last one. Port Adelaide and the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide, a very impressive win over North Melbourne. No one saw that coming. I didn't. And GWS, what did they do, mate? I can't remember what the Giants...
Smashed the Lions, they did.
Oh, yep, that's right. They got blitzed in the first term and then turned it on.
Yeah. It's an intriguing game, this one. Because all of a sudden, Port a sniff, Imagine if the Pies knock off North on the Friday, all of a sudden this becomes a massive game.
Yeah, it'd be huge.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tip the Giants, though. I just think they're a better outfit. I know they've lapsed at times, but still, Port, last week they were good, I suppose, but I just feel they play their best footy when the heat's off, or at least the media heat, the pressure's off,
yep.
And they play some of their worst footy when the expectation comes along. So that's a bit of a basic theory, but I think history has shown, at least over the last 18 months, that when they're expected to or need to win, they just haven't stepped up to the plate, and this is one where they need to, and if they bring their best footy, can definitely win. But I just think the Giants will be too strong, so I'll tip the Giants by 15 points.
Nice, mate. I don't even know who to tip. I'll go the Giants by 2 points. It's virtually copying each other now. Yeah, I'll generally back in Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval, but yeah, look, it'll be a very tough game. The Giants are really good against Adelaide a few weeks back in Adelaide, and I rate Adelaide obviously much higher than Port, and the later positions and current form shows that. They nearly knocked them off. So I reckon that they're a great chance to win this one. They were a little bit disappointing the other week, and I reckon their game style and their disposal efficiency really can get them across the line. Port Adelaide a few weeks ago were kicking at about 50% against the Hawks, so I think the Giants' skills, if they win on the inside and they're good on the outside, obviously any side will win if they're doing that. But they use the ball a lot. They use the ball a lot better than Port Adelaide, so I think that'll help them win.
Yeah, nice, mate. No, I tend to agree there. So yeah, should be a good round.
Yeah, bloody tough ones, mate. I tell you, I wanted to do Port Adelaide. Oh boy, go on the conservative. Who knows what the upset is?
Yeah, 50-51.
Definitely, mate. So those are the tips, guys, for round 18. Feel free to comment your tips as well. Don't forget to give the video a like, share it around, and subscribe for more tips and Geelong Cats reviews. Feel free to hang around for those. Check out our other videos and all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll catch you guys all next time.